Okay, welcome guys. In this tutorial we are going to look at ending our game when our timer hits 0. Okay, and also displaying a sprite that says time up. So I've created a new sprite called time up and it looks like this. Okay, and in my code I have gone to variables and I've created a new variable and I've called it time, and there it is on my screen. So I'm going to get a counter to count down, and when it gets to 0 my game will stop. But first thing I need to do is make sure my time is set to 0 at the start of the game, and also my time up sprite is hidden. So on my time up sprite I need to start with is a green flag, and I'm going to use that to hide my sprite at the beginning. So I'm going to looks and hide. And I can also use that green flag to set my time variable to 0. So I go to variables and choose my set to and make sure I've chosen time and make sure it says 0 and make sure it goes on your green flag. So that will hide my time over sprite and it will also set my time to 0. Next, what I'm going to do, I need my timer to start counting down when my game starts. So here where that broadcast that we created quite a long time ago now will be really useful. So I go to my events and I will say when I receive my broadcast to start the game, I'm going to set my timer. So I'll go to variables, and now this is entirely up to you what you want to set your length of time to. But I'm going to set my time to, just for testing at the moment, I'm going to set it to something quite short. I'm going to set it to 10 seconds. Okay? And then I want it to repeat, taking away 1 from the variable time until it gets to 0. Okay? So what I'm going to use here is a control block, and this is going to be the repeat until. Okay, I'm going to put that after here. So I want this to repeat this code inside my mouth of my repeat until it gets to 0. So I want an operator, so we're going to check if time equals 0 each time. So there's my equals block. I'll change my 50 to a 0. Now in here I'm going to put my variable, and you'll see now how it works. I'll put my variable inside my equals operator, and I put my operator inside my repeat until. So what we've got here, game starts, time is set to 10, so this will become 10, and the code in here will repeat until time is equal to 0. So in here, what do you think we need to do? We need to do what time? Yep, if you said -1, you were correct. So in here, I'm going to change time by -1. Now you'll see a problem here when I click run. What do you think it's going to be? It goes ultra quick. So what we've got to do here is put a little wait and then let it do the loop again after a certain time. So let's go to control and we're going to add a wait. So a 1 second wait will enable my counter to count down in seconds. So let's try that. When I press my green flag, press enter, it counts down 1 second at a time until it gets to 0. Okay? At the moment nothing happens when it gets to 0, but we've got it counting down, so I'm going to stop that now. So basically what we wanted to do is show our time up sprite. So when it gets down to 0, which is just here, it will come out of this loop, and we want to click on looks and show, and then we also want to stop every piece of code, so we just have our time up sprite showing. So I'm going to go to control and I'm going to stop all. So let's try that. That's my start. It's counting down. It'll get there in a minute, in a second. There you go. So all of our code is stopped when the timer gets to 0. So it's doing this loop until time equals 0. So it's minusing 1 out of time each time. And when it gets to 0, it comes out of that loop, goes to show, and then stops all the code in our game. Try that, see how you get on, and you'll be able to end your game. Take care and see you soon.